Some vacations change your life, but this one ended it. In the summer of 2013, four friends drove out of town for what was supposed to be a quiet week by the lake. Only one came back, and she never spoke again. The sun was sinking behind the hills of northern Wisconsin when the four friends left the highway. Emily drove. Beside her, Nathan laughed at something on his phone. In the back seat, Clara and Josh were arguing over directions. They weren't lost yet. Not officially. But the GPS had stopped working miles ago. They were looking for Larkspur Cabin, a cheap rental they found online. No reviews, no photos, just a phone number. The ad said, perfect for summer getaways, private, peaceful, surrounded by nature. By the time they hit the dirt road, the forest had swallowed the last of the daylight. The sound of gravel under the tires was the only reminder they were still moving forward. Emily felt uneasy. Something about the silence outside. No birds, no crickets. It didn't feel right. Nathan joked, guess we found the middle of nowhere. But the words didn't land. No one laughed. Even the car seemed to hum lower, like it knew something they didn't. When they finally reached the cabin, the headlights revealed an old wooden structure half-eaten by vines. The windows were boarded from the inside. The porch light flickered, faint, yellow, dying. It wasn't the cabin they expected, but none of them wanted to drive back another hour in the dark. They told themselves it was fine. It wasn't. As Emily turned off the engine, the forest swallowed them whole. There was no signal, no sound, just the heavy stillness of trees watching. And from somewhere deep within the woods, something moved. Slow, careful, listening. Inside, the cabin smelled of damp wood and something faintly metallic, like rust or blood. Josh flicked the switch by the door, but only one bulb came alive, hanging from the ceiling by a wire, swaying as if something had just brushed past it. The furniture looked older than it should have been. A dusty couch, a cracked mirror, a dining table with four mismatched chairs, and on the far wall, a photograph nailed crookedly. It showed a family of five standing in front of the same cabin. But the photo was wrong. Their eyes weren't looking at the camera. They were looking past it. Clara tried to laugh it off. Creepy decor. Airbnb's losing it. Nathan opened the fridge and froze. It was empty except for a glass jar filled with dark water. Something was floating in it. He shut it without saying a word. They unpacked half-heartedly, pretending everything was fine. By midnight, the forest outside was pitch black. No moon. No stars. Just the sound of the wind dragging across the windows like fingertips. Emily couldn't sleep. She lay on the couch, staring at the ceiling, hearing faint whispers that seemed to come from the attic, a low, rhythmic sound. Like breathing. Slow and uneven. It stopped whenever she listened too hard. At 2:13 a.m., Nathan woke up to someone walking around on the porch. He looked outside. Nothing but darkness. Still, the footsteps didn't stop. Slow, deliberate steps circling the cabin. And then, a whisper near the window. You shouldn't have come here. Nathan backed away, heart pounding. When he turned to wake Emily, the front door was open. Nathan slammed the door shut and locked it, breath sharp, chest tight. Emily rushed to him, confused and half asleep. What happened? He didn't answer. He just whispered, someone's outside. They turned off the lights and stood in silence. Nothing. Just wind and the soft creaking of wood. But then, from under the floorboards, something tapped. 3 slow knocks. Pause. Then again. Like something beneath them was knocking back. Josh grabbed a flashlight and knelt down. Probably animals, he said, forcing a laugh that didn't sound real. But when he pressed his ear to the floor, the sound shifted. The knocks turned into breathing. Low, wet, human breathing. He stumbled back, face pale. That's not an animal. The group argued, panic rising, fear mixing with exhaustion. Clara wanted to leave. Emily begged them to wait until sunrise. Nathan, still gripping the door handle, muttered, if someone's down there, I'm finding out. He grabbed the flashlight and found a small hatch near the kitchen, half hidden under a rug. It looked old, nailed shut. But something below it moved. A soft scraping sound, like nails dragging across wood. Clara screamed when a voice whispered from below the hatch. It's not yours. Leave it where it is. Nathan dropped the flashlight. The beam caught a glimpse through a crack. Something pale. A hand. Pressing against the wood. Too long. Too thin. And then it vanished. They backed away slowly, huddled together, eyes fixed on the hatch. The whispers stopped. But the breathing didn't. No one slept that night. They sat together in silence, the flashlight trembling in Nathan's hands. Every creak in the cabin felt alive. Every shadow seemed to breathe. When the first light of dawn finally bled through the cracks, they packed fast. No one spoke. Emily stepped outside first and froze. Their car was gone. Not vandalized. Not moved. Just gone. The tire marks stopped 10 feet from the porch as if the vehicle had evaporated. Clara started crying. Josh cursed under his breath. Nathan scanned the forest. No sound. No footprints. Nothing human. Just the faint hum of wind through trees that didn't move. Inside, Emily found the phone on the kitchen counter. Not theirs. A cracked flip phone. No signal. No SIM card. Only one saved contact labeled home. She pressed it. It rang once. Then a voice, hoarse, distant, answered. You shouldn't have stayed. It remembers. The line went dead. By noon, they were desperate. They decided to follow the dirt road on foot, hoping it would lead back to the highway. They walked for hours under the burning sun, but the path never changed. Same trees, same bend in the road, same cabin appearing again and again in the distance, like time had folded. Clara broke first. She ran toward the woods, screaming for help. The others chased her, but when they reached the tree line, she was gone. No sound. No tracks. Just her red scarf hanging from a branch, tied in a perfect knot. Nathan wanted to go after her. Emily stopped him. Josh whispered, voice cracking, "We're not supposed to leave." The forest listened. And somewhere behind them, from inside the cabin, a door slammed shut. Even though no one was there. By evening, only 3 of them remained. Emily, Nathan, and Josh. They had circled the same stretch of road so many times that the dirt began to feel familiar, like the ground itself was looping back on them. Every path led to the cabin. Every sound came from it too. Even when they walked miles away, they could still see its outline through the trees, like it was following them. As darkness fell again, exhaustion took over. They gave up and went back inside, desperate, silent, broken. Emily sat near the boarded window, staring at the forest. "It's not night," she whispered. "It just looks like night." No one answered. Josh tried the phone again. This time, it rang longer. A voice picked up. Not human, more like several voices layered together, breathing between words. "You left something behind, Emily. You shouldn't have taken it." Nathan grabbed the phone, shouted into it, "Who are you?" But all he heard back was his own voice, repeating, from inside the cabin. The sound came from the attic. They looked up. The air grew colder. Dust drifted down from the ceiling, slow as ash. There was a faint hum, not mechanical, not wind, like whispering electricity behind the walls. Nathan climbed the ladder first, flashlight trembling. The light cut through cobwebs and old furniture until it landed on a mirror. Not new. It was the same one from downstairs. Only here, the reflection was wrong. In the mirror, all 4 of them were standing there. Even Clara. But in the reflection, she wasn't looking at them. She was standing behind Emily, smiling. The flashlight flickered, once, twice, and went dark. A scream echoed, but it wasn't clear whose it was. The mirror shattered, plunging the room into silence. When the police arrived a week later, they found the cabin empty. The car was still there, parked right where it should have been. Inside, the table was set for 4. For plates. For glasses. Still warm.